Have you ever wrapped that cuff around your arm, waited for the beep, and felt your stomach drop a little when the number came back higher than you wanted? If so, you're definitely not alone. A huge number of adults deal with this at some point, and the number tends to creep up as we get older, even for people who feel perfectly fine. While medication is sometimes necessary, and that's a decision only your doctor can make, there's another piece of the puzzle that doesn't get talked about enough. It's sitting in your grocery store right now, for a few dollars a bag. Today we're covering 7 foods that research links to healthier blood pressure. Stick around for number 3. It's one of the fastest acting foods on this entire list, with effects some studies picked up in just a few hours. Quick note before we dive in. This video is for general information only, not medical advice. If you're currently taking blood pressure medication or have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, talk to your doctor before making big changes to your diet, especially with potassium-rich foods, since they can interact with certain medications. With that said, none of these foods are exotic or expensive. You'll recognize every single one. Let's get into the list. Let's start with something you probably already have in your fridge. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. These vegetables are packed with potassium. And potassium has a pretty specific job in your body. It helps your kidneys flush out extra sodium through urine. Less sodium hanging around generally means less pressure pushing against your blood vessel walls. You don't need to eat a mountain of greens to see the benefit either. Working a handful of spinach into your morning eggs or blending a cup of kale into a smoothie is an easy way to build the habit without it feeling like a chore. As a bonus, these same greens are also rich in calcium and magnesium, so you're doing your bones a favor at the same time. Next up, berries, especially blueberries. Berries are rich in natural plant compounds called flavonoids. Several long-term studies have linked regular berry intake with healthier blood pressure, and researchers believe it's because these compounds help support the flexibility of your blood vessels over time. The easiest way to work this in? Toss a handful onto oatmeal or yogurt in the morning, or keep a bag of frozen berries around for snacking. Frozen is just as good nutritionally as fresh, so don't feel like you need the pricier option. Interestingly, these same flavonoids show up in a lot of the research on healthy brain aging too, so this is a food working on more than one front. And here's the one I promised you: beets. Beets are naturally high in compounds called nitrates. Once you eat them, your body converts these into nitric oxide, which helps your blood vessels relax and widen. Wider blood vessels generally mean your heart doesn't have to work as hard to push blood through, which can translate to lower pressure readings. Some research has shown measurable changes within just a few hours of drinking beet juice faster than almost anything else on this list, which is part of why athletes have also started using it before workouts. If raw beets aren't your thing, try them roasted with a drizzle of olive oil, or blended into a juice with an apple to cut the earthy taste. Number 4. Oats. Oats contain a specific type of fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber has been linked in multiple studies to healthier blood pressure and cholesterol levels, partly because it slows digestion, and partly because of the ripple effect a healthier gut has on the rest of the body. That same fiber is also one of the most well-researched tools for helping lower LDL, the type of cholesterol most linked to heart problems. Swapping a sugary breakfast cereal for a bowl of oats, even just 3 or 4 mornings a week, is genuinely one of the easiest changes on this entire list. Top it with some of those berries we just talked about, and you've stacked 2 of these foods into one bowl. Quick reminder, if you're finding this useful, a like and a subscribe genuinely helps this channel keep making videos like this one. Okay, back to the list. Speaking of easy, number 5 is the banana. Bananas are one of the simplest ways to add potassium to your day. There's no prep, no cooking, no cutting board, just peel and eat, which makes them realistic even on your busiest days. They also carry a bit of magnesium, another mineral that plays a role in keeping blood vessels relaxed. Pair one with a handful of nuts or a spoonful of peanut butter, and you've got a snack that's both filling and genuinely useful for your blood pressure goals. Number 6. Fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which multiple studies associate with reduced inflammation and healthier blood vessels over time. Major health organizations generally recommend eating fish like this about twice a week for heart health overall, not just blood pressure specifically. It's one of those foods that shows up on almost every major list of heart-healthy eating, for good reason. If you're not a big seafood person, even canned salmon on a salad or mackerel on toast counts. It doesn't have to be a fancy dish to count toward the benefit. And finally, number 7. Garlic. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which is released when a clove is chopped, crushed, or minced. Multiple studies have linked regular garlic intake to a modest reduction in blood pressure. Modest, but consistent enough that researchers keep coming back to study it further. People have been using garlic for its health properties for thousands of years, long before anyone understood the chemistry behind it. For the biggest benefit, fresh garlic tends to outperform the powdered version. So try working a clove or two into your cooking a few times a week. Letting it sit for a few minutes after chopping, before you cook it, is thought to help preserve more of that allicin. So let's do a quick recap. The 7 foods were leafy greens, berries, beets, oats, bananas, fatty fish, and garlic. None of these foods replace medical treatment, and no single food is going to fix everything overnight. But small, consistent changes added up over weeks and months, and combined with whatever your doctor recommends, really can make a meaningful difference. Most of these foods are things you can pick up on your very next grocery run, which makes this one of the easier habits to actually stick with. If this video was helpful, hit like, subscribe for more videos like this one, and let me know in the comments, which of these 7 are you going to try first? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.